Hello everyone, happy Saturday night. I am Christina. You are live with me here on the main, and I am so pumped tonight because we are making Penne Alla Vodka, one of the sexiest pasta dishes that we could possibly be making for Valentine's Day. Now, if you're watching the rerun of this, then I will tell you we are about to do this step by step, completely live. So if you're not cooking live with us tonight, you're watching the rerun, go down in the description. You'll see timestamps to take you exactly where you want to go. We've also got all the ingredients. I've got them all right here in front of me. We're going to do a quick recap before we get started. If this is your date night, welcome. Thank you so much for having me in your kitchen. This is phenomenal. I love cooking pasta. I have been to Italy. I have eaten my fair share of pasta there, and I'm going to show you how to do this like the Italians do. Now, I don't see a ton of penne alla vodka on menus when I'm in Italy, but the method of cooking this sauce, the method of coating the pasta in this sauce is what is really, truly spectacular. It is a creamy red sauce. You guys are going to love it. Please make sure you're subscribed, make sure your notifications are turned on, and give us a like on this video if you are enjoying the content. Out in front of me, you're gonna see all of these beautiful ingredients. Everyone is ready. The Hilliers are ready to get sexy. Hello from Ontario. Of course, the French Riviera. Always. Right in front of me, we have all of our ingredients. We're going to get started first with our onions and our garlic. So make sure that's close at hand. We've got 1/3 cup of vodka. We have a 3/4 cup of cream. We have a tablespoon of butter. We have our Parmigiano Reggiano. Now, if you're cooking with a cheese like this, if I ever ask you to get Parmigiano Reggiano, please make sure, I know you spend a few extra dollars for it, but it is worth it. This is a quality product imported from Italy, and it is nothing like the shelf-stable stuff. We have a tablespoon of butter, I'm not sure if I mentioned that, and a jar of passata. Now, passata is strained tomatoes, and it's a phenomenal, phenomenal product. They are essentially tomatoes picked at the peak of ripeness, and they are pureed, so all the seeds are removed, all of the skins are removed. This is the one tomato product I have on hand all the time, and all that is in this jar is beautiful sun-ripened tomatoes. This is the best way to bring good tomato flavor into your kitchen. I absolutely love it. We've got, of course, our beautiful penne rigate on hand. I asked you guys, get something nice, like whatever you're cooking with, make sure it's good ingredients, especially when it's a few ingredients like this, and olive oil. We're gonna need some olive oil to make all of this come together. So I don't know about you guys, I'm pumped, I'm excited. The first thing I want you to do is to get a big pot of water on the stove and start, you don't have to turn it on just yet, but get a big pot of water. I'll show you mine really quick. This is my big pot. I have it filled with water, nothing crazy here. It's filled about 3/4 of the way, and this is just gonna wait on the stove with us. I also have 2 things waiting. A pan that we're gonna build our sauce in. So you want a pan that is deep enough here. It's deep enough to hold all of your sauce, but also is quite wide. Because what we want to do when you're cooking a sauce and you don't want it to take as long, you want to cook it in a very wide pot like this, because that's going to ensure the liquid can evaporate faster and we're concentrating that tomato flavor. So make sure you have a pot that you can cook your sauce in. And then, again, I told you I was going to give you guys some pro tips for how the Italians do it. I want you to have another pan on hand. And really, it can be any type of pan you have that's going to accommodate 2 servings of pasta, however much pasta you're going to be cooking. I'm using this large nonstick with these nice sloped sides so I can toss my pasta, because it's all going to get built in here. So we're going to have a pot to boil in, a pan to cook our sauce in, and then a pan to build our pasta in. That's crucial. So very excited. Let's get going. I'm going to move all of these ingredients off to the side. And so we're going to start with this onion. Here we go. Let me know how you guys are doing. We've got Stacy here, Ron, Lisanne, the Hilliers. Everyone is here. I'm pretty sure we have Jessica, Mike, and Callie cooking in Barry as well. If you are all watching right now, you are going to see me cut the end off of this onion. We're going to go in and do a fine dice on this onion. So I always like to cut the pole end off and then slice right through the middle and start tearing off these leaves. I've got a garbage bowl over here. If you've cooked with us before, you know I've got a wet paper towel underneath my cutting board to make sure nothing is moving around on me. And this is a medium onion that I'm using. But really, the measurements are, especially when it comes to pasta, like you have to almost use that budding intuition. And we don't want this to be overly heavy on anything. We don't want it to be overly heavy on garlic. We don't want it to be overly heavy on onion. So I'm gonna give this a chop and see how much we get. And based on that, I'll let you guys know how much onion I'm putting in exactly. So I'm just doing a fine dice, running my knife through the top and then through the side this way. The finer your onion, and also this is a preference as well. If you don't like your onion in big chunks, cut it more fine. It will melt right into the sauce. If you like giant chunks of onion, leave it larger. This is your kitchen, my friends. You get to do what you like to eat. And pasta is one of my favorite things to cook. I love cooking pasta, and the possibilities are endless. I know there's a lot of recipes out there, but the recipes are just something that someone tried, decided that it tasted great, and then they showed you how to do it. So guys, when you are cooking at home, don't be afraid to try new things. That's how you learn. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. That's how you learn. And if there's flavors that you like, you can probably turn it into a pasta, honestly. And with this method that we're going to do, which you would have learned if you watched our episode for the Creamy Pasta Diaries, where we made that creamy garlic, sun-dried tomato, Asiago pasta. Oh my God, that was good. Just phenomenal. We're gonna follow that same method. So if you have made that pasta, you are one step ahead. And really, every pasta that we make from here on out is gonna follow that very similar method to that, because that's how it's done, friends. I don't wanna say, they always say there's more than one way to skin a cat. I don't know if I agree with that when it comes to pasta. I'm a bit of a purist. This just looked great, just looks amazing. Okay, so this is a good cup of onion here. So I'm going to put this cup of onion, actually I'm going to put it on a plate, just a little guy, because this is going to come to the stove. Oh my gosh, this onion is strong. Is your onion as strong as mine? Lovely. There we go. And after this onion, we're going to prep our garlic, and I'm using 3 cloves. I'm just gonna wash my hands really quick. I'm using 3 cloves of garlic, and they're not huge. Now, I know everybody always doubles and triples the amount of garlic in recipes because everyone says, oh my God, I love garlic so much. Guys, in Italy, there's not a ton of garlic going into food. In fact, a lot of times they're just crushing the entire clove, putting it in to flavor the dish, and then pulling it out. So don't go crazy with the garlic, please. I beg you here. We do not want the garlic to take over. So what I'm gonna do is what we always do is I'm just gonna cut the end off that garlic, give it a small whack with my knife, because that will release this peel from the garlic very, very easily. I'm gonna do one more so you can see it. And guys, we're not going to pulverize this garlic. Wait until you see what we're gonna do with this garlic. So don't go crazy crushing it. Cut the end off, light hit, and look right here. It's just going to leap out of its skin because, you encouraged it with that little love tap. Speaking of love, happy Valentine's Day. Who are you guys celebrating with? Are you single? That's okay. Valentine's Day alone can be really fun. Okay, here we go. I do thank you for spending your Valentine's Day Eve with us. This is something we are doing most Saturday nights. We're cooking live. If you want to get the ingredients to follow along, go to Instagram at Here on the Main, and you're going to find everything you need posted usually a few days before the lives on Saturday. Earlier today, we did chocolate covered strawberries, which I'll show you later when we go to the stove. Let me know if you guys have any questions as we cook, because I want to make sure we're all on time, all cooking together. So take your garlics. I told you we're going to do something different. We are going to slice this garlic. I know. I told you this was a sexy pasta dish. Well, slicing nice, beautiful rounds of garlic is sexy. It's nice. So I'm going to tuck my fingers back so I don't chop them right off. And I'm going to go slow. And I'm aiming for, they don't need to be wafer thin. Don't be too hard on yourself, but I'm going for thin slices of garlic. And if it gets too difficult to slice the garlic because it's moving around, you just plop it onto the flat side right there and keep going. There we go. I'm going to do that with the next 2 cloves. A steady rock of my knife back and forth. Go as slow as you need to get nice, look at that, to get nice slices of garlic. Beautiful. I made a little chili garlic paste this week. It was phenomenal. I took some red chilies that I found on clearance and chopped them up and chopped up a bunch of garlic and literally just put it in an old little jar I had, topped it up with olive oil, and it was spectacular. Like the most beautiful little condiment, goes on anything, and it makes you feel like you're in a restaurant. And you guys know I love to cook restaurant quality food, and I love to show you guys how to do it so that you can do it at home. Because, you know, I do love going out to restaurants, but I don't like my good food experiences to be limited to them. So here's all my garlic, nice and chopped. Adam, how's it going, my friend? Is that Adam and John? How's it going, guys? John, are we going to cook live in your studio kitchen one day? I think that could be great. Excellent. So look at this. Bam. Cup of onion, finely chopped. We've got 3 garlic cloves, ultra thinly sliced. And this is the prep for our recipe. You can pull this together on a date night, super quick. You're gonna look ultra confident. You can pull this together after a long day of work. I've done this, honestly, truth be told, I've done this at lunch before. And I mean, who's judging you? Certainly not me. I'm gonna start moving over to the stove very, very shortly. So what I want you to do is make sure you have that pot of water on the stove ready to go. Make sure you have your pot that you're going to be building your sauce in ready to go, because I'm actually going to turn that on right now to number 7. You know, we always start a little bit higher and then bring the heat down once we have things moving in the pan. Awesome. Valentine's Day alone can be really fun, TMI. Well, Leah, we're all grown-ups here. Come on. Olive oil, you're going to need that over at the stove, so make sure it's right beside you. We're going to use about 3 tablespoons to get our sauce moving. Make sure you bring your jar of passata. You're going to need that cream. We're still going to grate the cheese. There's still some stuff that's going to happen, so don't worry, but make sure you have the vodka over by the stove as well. I actually poured out the vodka and measured. You're welcome. Normally it's a free pour situation. Get your onion and your garlic over to the stove. And I think that's it. We're ready to go. Now, I'm going to grab my handy cam so I can bring you there with me. And you will see we have everything happening here at the stove. All of our ingredients are on standby. The pan is heating up nicely. I've got my pot of water here on standby. And as soon as this pan is up to temperature, we're going to add our olive oil. My weapon this evening is no surprise. To anyone who's cooked with me before, a wooden spoon. Oh, I'm gonna grab my phone so I can follow along for you guys. Ellen and Andrew are cooking. Oh guys, it is so nice. It's like we're all spending Valentine's Day together. I love it. Okay, this is getting nice and hot. This is perfect. Olive oil. I'm probably going a little bit too early, but I'm excited. I'm sorry. It happens. So once your pan is hot, what's gonna happen? Olive oil is gonna go in and we're gonna start sauteing the onions, not the garlic yet, just the onions. So what's gonna happen is once those onions are translucent, then we're gonna add the garlic. Once everything gets to know each other in there, the vodka goes in. So when the vodka goes in, the vodka is gonna play a really integral role in this sauce. It's gonna smooth it out. It's going to bring some balance. It's going to temper the acidity of the tomatoes. It's, you could skip it, but then it wouldn't be a vodka sauce. And it'd just be creamy red sauce, which is good too. You do you. So I'm gonna go into the pan, and you guys know I like to measure my olive oil in turns of the pan, and I'm gonna do 3. 1, 2, 3, right there. It's about 3 tablespoons. And the reason I like to encourage you guys to measure your olive oil like that is because you've never seen a confident cook take out a tablespoon and then pour the olive oil into the tablespoon. And I want you guys to be confident cooks in your kitchen. So grab that bottle, turn it upside down, do a few turns of the pan, and just to give you a little bit more reassurance, if you put a tablespoon too much or a tablespoon too little of olive oil, there will be no difference at all. None. So there you go. There's nothing to lose. It's getting nice and hot. I'm gonna go and get this onion in right away. And just use my hand to push it in. Oh yeah, look at that. Get all the onion in there. Just beautiful. I'm gonna turn down my heat to number 4. Remember, we start on high so that we can start cooking faster. If we were preheating this on low, we'd be here all damn day. And I don't know about you, but I'm hungry. Perfect. Get your salt close at hand. We're going to season this, everyone. I'm using pink Himalayan. If you're using table salt, which is a very, very finely ground salt, don't add as much, but I'm adding a generous pinch of salt to this. That was probably 1/4 teaspoon. Again, start seasoning your food to taste. Try it. See if you like the flavors. You know when something is seasoned well, when the flavors literally jump up out of the pan, when they really come alive in your mouth. If you're cooking and you're finding, oh, this is, it doesn't taste how I thought it was going to, or where's that really big flavor? Guess what? Add more salt. Add more salt, because when you are in a restaurant, they are salting your food properly, and there's probably more salt in that food than you're putting at home. And that's why it tastes so good. I don't subscribe to that whole oh, you're getting too much salt. Here's the thing, if you're cooking at home and you're not eating out, you're not getting too much salt. When they say you're getting too much salt and things are too salty and there's too much salt in them, it's because all processed foods have a lot of salt. So if you're not eating a ton of processed foods in your diet, the amount of salt that you're cooking with and that you should be cooking with is going to be just fine. So don't worry about it. I'm continuing to stir this because I don't want the onions to develop color. If the onions develop color, that's okay. Just add the vodka quickly. Add your garlic and add your vodka. You just expedited the whole process. The reason I'm doing it a little bit more slowly is because I want to keep an eye on it and enjoy it. Like, this is Valentine's Day. It's a little romantic. Like, this is a lovely smell coming off of this pan. Just beautiful. Very nice. You can see the onions are starting to get translucent. And watch your pan. See what's happening. It looks wonderful. I'm just about ready to add the garlic because, again, I don't want any color on these onions. Again, if you get color on your onions, no one's gonna know once the tomatoes are in there. It's gonna taste wonderful. I keep spreading them out. If you see me fussing with them, I'm just spreading out my onions to maximize the contact with the bottom of the pan. That's very important. I'm also going to turn on my water, my pasta water. So you should have a pot on your stove with pasta water in it, or sorry, regular water. It's going to become pasta water. Turn this on to high so we can bring it up to a boil. We are going to season our pasta water together. I'll show you how to do it properly. And that way it's ready for when the pasta is ready to go in. So come see this. It's everything is translucent. It looks lovely. The flavors have released into that olive oil. I'm going to add my garlic. And same thing, we don't want to brown this garlic. We don't want to give it any color. We just want it to touch the oil and really wake up. I know Candace was mentioning she grabbed tomato paste by accident, and now would be the time you would want to add that and cook out the tomato paste in this olive oil, onion, and garlic mixture. Beautiful. I can smell the garlic hitting that beautiful hot oil. Stunning. Let me know what other pastas you guys want to see. It's my favorite thing to cook. One of them, certainly. That and Tex-Mex, can you tell? I love a good Tex-Mex meal. Just stunning. I've got my heat on number 6. And guys, manage your heat in the kitchen. Look at what's happening in the pan. Make sure you know everything that's going on. If you guys are just tuning in, we are making Penne Alla Vodka, an ultra sexy pasta dish for Valentine's Day. And we're going start to finish live. So if you are ever, if you're a nervous cook or you're trying to develop your confidence in the kitchen, this show is for you. Make sure you hit subscribe. And when this video goes live, give us a like. And let me know if there's anything you want to see us cook. This is going fast now, guys. If you come in here and see this, when I say you're going to learn the tips and tricks for what you're going to need to look for. See, I'm getting a little bit of color over here. My garlic is getting soft and translucent. That means it's time to add the vodka. So I'm going in with the vodka right now. There we go. Let it bubble away. That's good. We're cooking off the alcohol. You want to reduce it, and you'll see it's almost like these onions are just going to melt. Oh, it smells good. I use this like really nice Stolichnaya vodka. I'm getting a request for pasta al limone. You know what? I think we're 100% going to do that in the summer. That is one of my favorite pastas of all time. Stand by with your tomatoes, guys, because about a minute after you add that vodka, it's tomato time. Now, I'm adding this entire jar of passata right to this pot. And you'll see there's a lot of tomato left in this jar. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to add a little bit of water into this jar. Not a lot, maybe 1/4 cup. Not too much because it has to evaporate, and we want to eat tonight, not tomorrow. So we don't want to be evaporating water all night long. Put the lid on, give it a shake, and look at this. I told you tricks of the Italians. This is what they're doing. They don't waste a drop. Right in. Perfect. A nice classic lasagna. Oh, I love a good lasagna. You know, truth be told, me and my sister, and I'm combining this together now, guys. Me and my sister make, honestly, probably the best lasagna I've ever had anywhere. And the process that we follow is so tedious and brutal that I don't even know if I can show it to anybody for fear of getting roasted on the internet. But it does yield the best ever lasagna. So just give this a nice mix. The Hilliers are asking for cheese capelletti. I do love a good cheese capelletti. You know what? If you took this exact sauce that we're making right now and you tossed it with cheese tortellinis and tossed it with some chunks of cheese or grated cheese and baked it. That used to be one of my favorite little snacks. Yes, it was a little snack. Don't judge me. Oh my God. Oh, I'm gonna season this up with salt. Big sprinkle. There we go. Probably another 1/4 teaspoon. Now, very important, guys, this needs to start simmering because what we need to do is evaporate some of the liquid in this pot. Now, you're gonna see we have a lot of sauce. That's because this is gonna be enough sauce for probably a pound of pasta, but I'm cooking for 2 tonight. If you're cooking for more, you cook more of the pasta, but I'm gonna cook about 225 grams of it, about a 1/2 pack. So you're gonna have leftover sauce, and that's a good thing. This sauce you could put on, I mean, you can make a little breaded eggplant, put this sauce on top, you have an eggplant parmigiana. You could do, you could put this sauce on a pizza, like vodka sauce pizza. Hello, it's perfect for tomorrow. Okay, so I am waiting till this comes up, and I'm gonna show you guys. There's a secret to boiling sauce. So what you wanna look for is these little bubbles breaking the surface. Once these bubbles start breaking the surface, you turn it down. So I got it at number 3 right now. And you don't wanna stir it. When you stir sauce a lot, what it does is it creates that crazy bubble effect. You're taking off the layer on the bottom of the pan and everything just goes too crazy. It's okay, just let it cook like this. We're only gonna stir it a few times throughout the cooking process, but we want this to reduce. And the only way it's gonna reduce is, do you see all this steam? This steam is liquid evaporating out. It's essentially water. So we're concentrating the tomato flavor in this pan like crazy. Once we have the sauce closer to where we want it, not when it's all the way done, we're gonna add our cream. And guys, like, we're gonna be almost there. This I'm gonna leave to simmer while I grate some cheese and get everything else ready to serve, because things are gonna happen quick. This is coming up to a boil. Once it's ready, we'll evaluate how far along we are on our sauce, whether or not we're gonna drop the pasta right away. But stick with me, we'll do it all together. And this is, you know, we're cooking on the fly. We're learning what the indicators are, what we're watching for, so that you guys can recreate stuff like this, no problem, without my help, to impress anybody in your life. We've got a perfect simmer happening right now. Perfect little bubbles breaking the surface. Come in and show them really what we're getting here. It's perfect little bubbles breaking the surface. Yes, you are gonna make a mess of your stove. That's unavoidable. I'm sorry, friends. But it's worth it. It is so, so worth it. Yeah, look at that. Just beautiful. I'm just listening to it. I just realized I went completely quiet. It's making the most lovely bubbling sound. The smell coming off of this is phenomenal. And this is just gonna go. I've got mine at number 4 right now. That's what's holding this. So while and feel free to try it, guys. Like, you need to know what's happening flavor-wise in that pot. I'm gonna let this simmer for a few minutes before I add the cream. And I'm going to just grate my cheese. So like I said, you wanna make sure you have Parmigiano Reggiano. This is very, very important. This tastes nothing like the stuff you get in the jar. And I wanna show you, if you look on the end of this guy, there's a rind. And this rind is so flavorful. When you buy this cheese and you grate it right down to this rind, you keep this rind, you put it in the freezer, and then you can put this in anything. You put this in a pasta sauce, a soup, and I promise anybody you serve that to is going to be blown away. It's going to impart the most incredible flavor that you cannot recreate with anything. So the entire block is usable. Like, this is This is the king of cheeses, they call it. Do you see these little blooms on the cheese? This doesn't mean the cheese is bad. This is the sign that you have a good Parmigiano Reggiano. These are crystals. They're actual cheese crystals. And if you grab your block at home, I encourage you to pop a piece out and try it. Buttery, nutty, creamy. Hello. If something buttery, nutty, and creamy shows up at your house, you are excited about it. How could you not be? Like, I'm gonna grate about 3/4 of a cup, but really, it's to your preference. And you're better off to grate a little bit like a little bit less than that, just to see where you might want it. I mean, there's plenty of stuff you can do with grated cheese. Plus, these pieces that fall off, make sure you eat them. That's very important. That's a pro tip. How's your sauce smelling, guys? Lisa Ann says hers is smelling incredible. Oh, yeah. Guys, that's money back there. What more could you want? We are going to get that cream in soon because the cream is going to reduce as well. Just beautiful. I need to get a new grater. I don't love this one. If you love your microplane, let me know which one you guys have. Okay, I'm gonna stick with that amount of cheese for now. And I'm going to cut myself just a little piece because I can. It's my Valentine's Day too. Very nice. Okay, we're gonna check on the sauce. Bring your cream to the stove. Now, we're working with 3/4 of a cup, but truth be told, I like to play it by ear. So that's what we're gonna do, and you're gonna do it with me. Oh yes, look. So come and see this. Yes, it's a mess around the stove. That's unavoidable. We just need to move on from it. And this means you're doing a good job. You can start to see a little bit of oil on top. That's the olive oil. That's a good sign. Oh, Larry, how's it going, my friend? It smells phenomenal. When I run my spoon on the bottom of the pan, I can feel it getting thicker. This is good, so I'm gonna stir it. Oh yes, see, you get this almost tomato paste-like effect coming up from the bottom of the pan. That's what we want. That's perfect. And I'm going to add my cream. Where's the glass of wine tonight, Ron wants to know. Well, Ron, it was had last night. Let's put it that way. That's all I'll say about that. I'm gonna start with a 1/2 cup of cream and see how I like that. Oh yes, guys, this is gonna turn the most beautiful blush color. There's nothing better than putting cream in sauce. Everything just gets so magical. Oh yes. Wait till you guys try this. Have you gotten a set of espresso spoons yet? They're just my favorite for tasting. I'm working on finding a new link for you guys because it seems everyone loves them and they're always sold out or out of stock. So I'm gonna give this a try to see if I like where it's at cream-wise. Oh my God. Oh my. Oh, that's so good. That is so good. I'm gonna add a splash more. Let's see. Yeah. So I'm not quite using the full 3/4 of a cup. I'm holding a little bit back. I think you absolutely could use this, but it's to your taste. If you want it to be even richer and creamier, go for it. I'm using almost the whole thing. I'm using like 90% of that 3/4 of a cup. This is stunning, guys. I'm gonna bring this back up to a simmer and then again, reduce it just a little bit. And now what I want you guys to know too is we don't need this sauce to be immediately at the right spot because it's going to reduce even more when we marry it with the pasta. So some really cool things are gonna happen. You gotta stick with me. Keep going. Beautiful. This came up really quick. So I'm knocking it back to number 4. So guys, I need you to maintain that simmer on the sauce and get your heat. Oh, look at this. Boiling water is letting me know it's ready. So get this to a simmer. Once you have it at a simmer, it's going to do its thing. That's perfect. This water is begging for attention right now. So yes, I'm coming. I'm coming. I'm going to give you attention. Okay. Let's season some pasta water because now this sauce is good. It doesn't need us at this moment. I'm going to get a spoon. I've got some very coarse sea salt today, which I'm excited about. And I'm going to add this to the pasta water. Now, if you've never seasoned pasta water with me before, I want you to listen up. This is one of the most important steps of cooking pasta because it's the only opportunity we have to flavor the pasta. And when you taste your water, yes, we're going to taste our water, it needs to taste salty. You should actually taste a distinct saltiness. If you're not sure, you probably need more salt. So I've got my largest pot, 3/4 full of water, and I'm adding 2 big spoons of salt. And guys, something I want you to remember too, if you oversalt your pasta water, you can just pour some out and add fresh water and it'll be less salty. It's that easy. You do have to make sure that you stir it in completely because the salt needs to dissolve. And if you just put it in and then taste it right away, you're not going to know where it's at because it hasn't dissolved yet. How are you guys doing? Everyone seems good. Okay, time to taste this. Let's see. Blow on it. We don't need burnt taste buds when we're trying to cook. So I put 2 really big spoons of coarse salt, and I'm not getting a saltiness yet. That means I need another one. So if you're using similar measurements to me, you want to keep going. This is a 1/3. I'm going to go in with another one. That's 3 big spoons of salt. But you guys try it. Try your water. You're working with different salt. When you try it, it should make your mouth go dry immediately after you swallow it. Perfect. That was perfect. It was salty on the nose right away or on the tongue, and then I swallowed the salty water and my mouth was just a little bit dry. That's where you want it to be. And I'll keep thinking of better ways to help you guys get to that spot, but it's really important to me that you learn how to get there on your own and develop that intuition. That's why we're cooking live. This sauce is looking beautiful. I'm gonna turn it down just a hair, number 3, so I can maintain this beautiful simmer. You're gonna find sometimes if you've got your heat up a little bit and you've got the simmer happening, because there's so much heat in that pot, things might get a little bit too hot. So don't be afraid to bring it back and to where it needs to be. We're ready to add the pasta water, We're ready to add the pasta. So I am using this lovely penne rigate tonight. And what I want you guys to notice is find the cooking time on your bag. And it might be in an inconspicuous spot, so keep an eye. Mine says 9 minutes. That means I'm going to cook it for 2 minutes less. That's 7. So I'm going to go in with half a pack of pasta, probably a little bit less than half because this is 500 grams. So I'm going in with that. Perfect. I'm going to grab another spoon to stir and set my timer for 7 minutes. You guys need to see how long your pasta takes and then cook it for 2 minutes less. This is stunning. While you guys are over here, I'll show you. We made these chocolate covered strawberries today on our live. Just delicious, so easy, so good. I want to eat one right now, but I won't. Oh my gosh, they smell amazing. So good. Like, there were so many tutorials for these on the internet, especially that came out this week, and I didn't see anybody that did it as concisely as we did, and there were some tips and tricks that we used, so go watch that video. I'm gonna give this sauce a little stir, just a little baby stir, because see, I don't want to kick it up too much. It's gonna create all those bubbles. This is perfect. This is looking great, guys. We still have a few things to add to this. We have a tablespoon of butter. We have some parsley, that's for the end, or if you're using basil, you can use basil as well. Complete preference, whatever you want. And our Parmigiano Reggiano, that's gonna get added as well. The one tool I will encourage you guys to grab is a ladle if you have one. If you don't, just grab anything you can scoop sauce with. I mean, heck, you could use a coffee mug if you wanted, but I'm just gonna keep this close at hand. And how are we doing? What are they sitting on? Ham? Leah thought they were sitting on ham. No rose petals, silly. It was pink rose petals. That is funny though. Ham. I'm not hating on ham. God, you guys are funny. Okay, stunning. This, I'm just giving it a quick stir. Now, I do want to take a minute to talk about pasta because I've heard people do some really weird things to pasta, and I want to encourage you not to do the following. One, do not add oil to your pasta cooking water. Do not do that. One, it makes no sense. It does not help the pasta not stick. Oil and water don't mix. You stirring helps the pasta not stick. Using a big enough pot with enough water helps the pasta not stick. And to be honest, I've been cooking pasta my whole life, and I've dumped it in there before and not looked at it till it was done, and it doesn't stick. So don't add oil, because at the very worst, what's going to happen is when you pour out your pasta water with the oil is going to get onto the pasta, and it's going to stop the sauce from adhering to the pasta. We don't want that. We want a nice saucy noodle. So please don't do that. The next thing I want to encourage you is not to do ever is to rinse your pasta. So I've heard people, I don't know who does this, but I've seen this done. People rinse their pasta when it's done. Do not do that. You are paying extra, or you have all this wonderful starch on the outside of the pasta, and that's what helps the sauce cling to the pasta. And if you are doing these, you know what, we almost need some merch, like pasta do nots. And I do have some pasta do's, which we will go over. See, people are, how do you store your parm? Good question. And this might be a little bit controversial. I actually store my parm in plastic wrap or beeswax wraps, because I've tried to store it in parchment before, and it doesn't, I don't know why, it doesn't work out well for me. I've gotten mold on my parm before like that, and so I use plastic wrap or beeswax wraps, and that is the best way I've been able to keep parm. And I do buy it in giant blocks, and I cut off a piece to use every time into more manageable sizes, and I always manage to keep my my large block perfectly good when I wrap it like that. But if anybody has any tips, I'm more than interested to hear that. I'm just looking at this sauce. I am gonna try it, mostly because it just looks so freaking good. Ow, it's hot. Careful, it's hot, guys. Very nice. Very, very nice. Beautiful rounded flavor. When we bring that parm to the party, it's just going to go to another level. So have that pan on standby, because once this pasta is done, we're going to add the sauce to this new pan. So you guys are gonna have to, it's gonna happen quick, but I have faith in all of you. When this pasta is done, I'm going to move this pan to the back and bring my new pan forward, and we're gonna build the pasta and the sauce in there. Just phenomenal. And we're gonna do that very soon, because I've only got 2 minutes left on this pasta cooking. It just goes quick, eh guys? One thing leads to another. I'm gonna move over some of my decoration for Valentine's Day. Beautiful. Just beautiful. My cheese is on standby, butter. Make sure your butter is on standby. That is a last finishing touch for this pasta because we're almost there, guys. Like this is happening so quick. Pasta water. Okay, so I am going to drain my pasta tonight with a spider. If you need to get a colander out for the sink, do that. Make sure if you're doing that, you are grabbing a measuring cup or a coffee mug. Save some of that pasta water in case we need it. I'm gonna have mine here with me, so I'm not worried about that, but definitely save pasta water. Okay, my timer is counting down. It's at 40 seconds, so watch what we're doing. Here we go. I'm moving my pasta sauce, my beautiful vodka sauce, off of the heat. I'm stirring it to get all those beautiful thickened flavors off of the bottom. So this is back here and it's hot, ready to go. I'm bringing forth my new soldier, which is this pan right here. And I'm going to ladle in sauce into this pan. I'm gonna do 1, 2. I like a very saucy pasta. Like guys, when I say very saucy, I mean really saucy. There's my timer. Beautiful. I'm gonna get this bubbling and I'm going to add my pasta. This pasta is going to finish cooking in this sauce. Now, if you are draining your pasta, I want you to save the pasta water, drain your pasta like normal, and then get it into this pan that's coming up to temp with the sauce in it. Sauce and pasta, same pan like this. This is how you build a pasta Italian style. This is how they're doing it in Italy, guys. We've got the pasta in here. It's going to continue to cook. It's going to release its starch into the pasta. And it's going to thicken. And this sauce and this penne is going to become one. What a perfect little metaphor for Valentine's Day, huh? Bring this up to temp. I'm not adding any pasta water yet because I really like what's happening here. Really like it. There we go. Now it's up. Also, cheese. Time to add that cheese. Grab a big handful of that beautiful Parmigiano Reggiano that you grated and add that right to the pot. There we go. You do whatever you have to do to get this mixed together. I'm going to add a small splash of pasta water because I want this to keep cooking. Because remember, I'm adding a half a ladle full. We undercooked this pasta, right? We undercooked it because we wanted it to finish cooking in the sauce. How? You know pasta grows when it's cooked. It grows because it's absorbing water. Well, do you expect your pasta to absorb the sauce if it's fully cooked? There's no more room for the pasta to absorb. It's like a sponge. So by cooking it here in the sauce, let it go. I've got it on number 6. By cooking it here, the pasta is absorbing it. And I know I'm doing a lot of things right now, guys, but all I'm doing is in a clean pan, ladling in a bunch of sauce. Don't worry if you're adding too much, too little sauce. First of all, you can't have too much. If you have too little, add more sauce. Add more sauce. Very easy. Keep it moving. Make sure whatever's on the bottom of the pan gets moved to the top. This is just stunning, my friends. I'm gonna add a little bit more sauce. I can't even help it. This is beautiful. Look at that. Great color. Thanks, Larry. We'd like you to cook along with us one day, my friend. Listen to that sound, guys. This. You know you have a nice, juicy, saucy pasta. That's it. That's the sound you're looking for. Oh, yes. Mamma mia. Oh, don't forget we still have that butter. I'm gonna give this a try. I'm testing for pasta doneness. Now, you cook your pasta however you like. If you like an al dente pasta, I like an al dente pasta. That's how they serve it in Italy. It's phenomenal. That's how you cook it. It's a little under seasoned. It needs some salt. Taste it for salt, guys. You want these flavors to come alive. If you, noodle down. If you don't like an al dente pasta, cook the crap out of this. I don't care. You're the one who has to eat it. You cook it till you like it. There we go. Oh, that's a saucy boy there. Beautiful. I'm just a hair before al dente right now. I am gonna add my butter right before. When you're a minute from being done, add that butter and stir like crazy. Because what you're doing here is you are emulsifying the butter. If you don't stir like crazy, then it's just gonna pool up and just sit there, and we don't want that. We want that butter to emulsify into this sauce. Oh guys, look at this. I'm excited. Can you tell? Okay. I know you're like, what are we doing with the parsley and the basil? I'll show you. It's coming. I just put the butter in, Candace. Did you see? I just put it in. Right at the end. This is phenomenal. Phenomenal. Okay. I'm shutting this off because this is done. I'm going to plate it up in a bowl, and I'm going to run my knife through some parsley as a final touch. So here I go. This is the best part, guys. And I do have a piece of wisdom for you. That is a motto that I live by. And if you've ever eaten at my place, you've heard me say this about pasta when it's ready. If you know what I'm going to say, put it in the comments below. Grab your parsley, grab your basil, whatever you're using. Give it a rough chop, just like this. There we go, that's plenty. Just a little bit on top. And of course, you know we're adding a little extra cheese. Get that on there. Did anybody guess it? Did anybody guess my motto? No, nobody did. Let me tell you. My friends, pasta waits for nobody. When pasta is ready to eat, you eat. Non-negotiable. That is an absolute must. That is my #1 rule with pasta. If you let pasta sit, it gets clumpy, it gets weird. Pasta's ready to eat, so am I. Penne alla vodka. Absolutely stunning. Get you a nice gratuitous shot in there, as close as we can get. Thank you so much, guys. You are all fire, rock stars tonight. Make sure you're subscribed. Like this video when it goes live. Leave me a comment. Let me know how your food tasted. I'm gonna go eat this right now, because like I said, pasta waits for no one. I'm in. Phenomenal. Thanks, guys. I'm Christina. You're here on the main. We'll see you next week. Bye.